Are you an overspender or are you an underspender? Do you have a balance in your life regarding your self-esteem and spending in healthy ways? This is a question we must ask ourselves. Often we come from our family of origin from a place of either, I've got to hold back, I've got to hold back, I've got to hold back. Or, hey, I could just spend and spend, there's no worries, no worries. And then bang, the credit card just get racked up, right? We have to be aware, which end of the spectrum are we on? Myself, I was frugal. I was an underspender. I went into victim mode. Okay, I victimized myself. I did have money in the bank. I just kept accruing it and I wouldn't spend anything on myself. Also, I didn't know that I could have spent my money on certain things. I just was never taught. I had a belief system that money was bad, that people with money were power mongers, they were manipulative, they were controlling, all right? That is not true. Money simply is energy, right? It's an exchange of energy. It is perhaps a paper bill that we have or coins in our hand, but it's an exchange that we do for energy that we have created, all right? So let's just talk for a moment about underspending. It is about deprivation, okay? It is about not feeling worthy. Some of us may be able to spend on other people easily, giving gifts. I used to go on holidays and I would think of all the people that I wanted to get gifts for, never once thinking I needed a gift. However, as we grow in our abundance, as we grow in our prosperity, we're allowed to have more. It's a belief system of giving ourselves permission that we are worthy of what we desire, right? So underspending is saying to ourselves, I'm not worthy of it. I'm not deserving. Even though the money might be in the bank, even though you're earning a living, you tend to give it away instead of spend some of it on yourself. Then there's overspending, all right? You get your paycheck and you already have spent it all before you have even, got home, put it in the bank. When we're overspending, we are trying to compensate for that feeling right here, that God hole, that feeling of not being worthy, not being enough. And spending money, whether it's credit or whether it's actually cash, it gives us a feeling of power momentarily. There's this rush of adrenaline. I have heard people say, the more money they spend, the bigger the rush. I came from the other end of the spectrum. I had to circle a store 2 or 3 times, or I'd have to come by 2 or 3 different days to look at a big ticket item in order for my self-esteem to be high enough for me to purchase it. Other people, they purchase it, they put it on credit, they feel the rush, they feel the power, then they go home and they have perhaps what's called buyer's remorse. It's like, I really couldn't afford that. Why did I do that? And then they start beating themselves up with guilt, with shame. I'm just not a good person. And meanwhile, the credit is being racked up. And then at the end of the month, they get their credit card bill and look at it and it's like, oh my God, self-esteem goes down. I don't have the money to pay for this, right? So what do we do when we find or we're aware that we're overspending or underspending? And the paychecks are coming in. The first place always is awareness. Awareness, and then we accept that this is our behavior, then we can change it. We have to have awareness of what is. Then we need to accept who we are in this behavior. And then thirdly, we begin to change. So underspending, we need to change and move more into the middle. We need to accept that we are worthy to spend our money. We're allowed beautiful things. We are allowed to have our desire. When we're overspending, we need to put the clamp on every time we have a desire and say, I am worthy right now without buying X, Y, or Z. I am worthy and deserving of love from the divine. There is no need to have a material possession. I don't need to go out and feel powerful for that moment to fill my self-esteem up. You are loved. You are deserving right now. The practice is moving from underspending or overspending right into the heart, where you're not denying yourself something, but nor are you indulging in a destructive, addictive behavior of overspending.